Joe Hopkins here, and I'm doing a list because why the hell not? 20 bands y'all should know about, right? Some of these are bands that I'm sure a lot of you know about, and some of these are bands that you might not know so much about. Some of them aren't as well known. Most of these aren't like top name bands, right? So I'm going to start with one that I think y'all know about, The Warning. All right, The Warning. I've seen them live twice. I love their videos. I think they're one of the best bands out there right now. They are really good. And seeing as how every time I talk about them on this channel, y'all really like the videos, I'm assuming y'all know who they are. But in case you don't, because surprise, surprise, a lot of people haven't heard of them. I run into a lot of people who don't know who they are. They are a really good rock band. Really good rock band. They're going to be one of the biggest bands out there at some point, I believe. They're three sisters from Monterrey, Mexico, and they play rock and roll. They only do a couple songs in Spanish. Most of it's in English for all of you people who are afraid of foreign languages. So there you go. Very good band, worth checking out. If you haven't heard of them, check them out. They're one of the best out there, in my personal, humble opinion. All right, number 2, Pacifica. If you haven't heard of them, you should. They're also from Latin America, but this time from Argentina. Is Argentina considered Latin America? I'm not even sure. Argentina's like its own thing. I got family in Argentina. Anyway, Pacifica, they're two friends. They started a band, and they're good. They're really good. They started out just the two of them and then, hired a drummer. I really like their music. Makes me think very much of... I don't know, man, like the older alternative music kind of stuff, like the alternative stuff that wasn't super heavy, but almost on the poppy side. Good stuff, though. I really like it. The next band, The Main Squeeze. Come in here, dear boy, have a cigar, you're gonna go far. And I should hope a lot of you have heard of them. They're... Honestly, I've been digging these guys for years. They really blew up big time on YouTube. I think they're from the Midwest somewhere, Indiana, I think. But anyway, originally, they're really excellent rock and funk band. They do all kinds of different types of music. They really made it big doing covers at first, and some of their covers are just terrific, but I love their original songs too. And the musicianship is absolutely amazing. It's off the charts. It's drums, bass, guitar, keyboards, vocal, and all the musicians in the band are amazing. Especially the guitarist. Holy crap, that dude is next level. You know what I mean? But they're all amazing. The singer is just out of this world. And I love his style, right? For a big dude, he wears a lot of like kimonos and stuff. He was doing it for a while wearing kimonos. I dig that. I dig the style. It's cool. It's very, got the swagger to it. I like that. All right. Next, In This Moment. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard of them, but some of you haven't. I find a lot of people haven't heard of them. I really like them. They're getting to be a bigger band, and they're one of my favorites at the moment. I'm really digging them lately. I think they're a really good band. I like the vocals. I forget her name now, the singer. I like the style of her vocals. I like the way her voice sounds. I like the way she inflects everything. It's cool, right? It's heavy, it's hard, and it feels a little bit different while being familiar at the same time. I dig that. I really do. All right, the next one, the Southern River Band. Now, if you haven't heard of them, you're not alone, right? They're kind of newer, I guess. I hate saying newer, because most of the time when you say a band is new, they've been at it for 10 years. They just are only starting to get popular. But yeah, the Southern River Band, I really dig them. Really kind of classic rock kind of sound. Little like, like hard rock 70s and 80s kind of stuff. And I really dig that kind of sound. I dig their look too. They look like just dudes, like normal, mostly normal dudes, that's kind of cool. They're not playing it up. They look like the guys that would hang out with you in the trailer park, right? And hey, don't put down the trailer park, right? I lived there for a while. All right, next band, Speed of Light. Now, this is like an alternative band. It's a brother and sister, or two brothers and a sister. I saw them open for The Warning, and man, they are amazing live, right? Yeah, I dig their recorded stuff. It's excellent, heavy alternative kind of stuff. Live, they kill it. They absolutely kill it. All right, so here's the next one, number 7, Hero the Band. This is a band that apparently also had opened for The Warning at one time. I didn't see them open for them, but I think it's 4 brothers. I think I know at least a couple of them are related to each other. There's a couple brothers in there. Pretty damn good band, right? I like the look too, right? They got a good look to them. They got some. Yeah, they know how to dress. They know how to present themselves. I like that. They look very punk, Also, you don't see a lot of black guys in rock and roll anymore. The brothers forsook rock and roll some time ago, and I'm glad to see they're coming back, right? That's a good thing. That is definitely a good thing. We need more homeboys in the rock and roll. I'm not making fun of y'all. I'm not racist. Don't call me racist, okay? Yeah, because I'm not. So, yeah, I dig it, though. Hero the Band. Excellent band. Very... I don't know, like they have that newer punk kind of sound, you know what I mean? Like the newer stuff. They fit in with that with the vibe that's going on at the moment. I dig that. I dig that the newer punk kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know if they consider it punk anymore. It is. It's punk. I dig it though. All right, number 8, the Velveteers. Right? They yeah. I really like them a lot. They're very alternative kind of band. They remind me a lot of stuff I listened to in the 90s. A couple of these bands do. And I dig that. I dug that sound then. I still dig it now. You know what I mean? And they're fun. They seem like they got a lot of fun to them. Another band that is just a lot of fun, especially lyrically and musically, and that's Durry. Apparently I think that's their last name. It's a brother and sister. And yeah, they're kind of a funny band. At first, when I first heard them, I kind of was listening to lyrics. I'm like, I don't know if you can take them seriously or is this a joke but no, they're serious and it's good. I like it. It's a little, it puts question marks at first and then you get to used to it and you like it. It's good stuff. I'd recommend checking them out. All right, number 10, Part of the Theory. Now this is kind of like, let's see, if Alanis Morissette were singing for Tool, that sounds weird, but it's really good. And so far, what's the one song they have out? It's like Famish the Mammoth, I think, but they got to have other stuff somewhere. I mean, come on, the video for it is like high quality, like top-notch stuff, real professional sound, well produced, well mixed, and I'm looking for more of their stuff. I'm hoping they put more out. There's not much out right at the moment, but I really like what I've heard so far. I think they're absolutely excellent. I'd eat up more of this, right? But yeah, kind of like that Tool sound where it's got that kind of Middle Eastern vibe kind of notes in there, and it's cool sounding though. I really like it. Number 11, Sophia Isella.
I make up, I don't mock women like her, I'm not like her. As soon as she hits it, I'm kicking her out. She's had enough of the love.
Now, yeah, you listen to her, you're going to notice, very feminist, very hardcore feminist. I'm okay with that. And I love the music. I think it's very creative, very well put together, very well thought out. It feels very deep and meaningful. And it seems to be, right? It's very, like I said, very feminist political statement to the world. And I could dig that. You're making a statement, and I like that. It makes the music better when you have something that actually motivates you, something you want to say, in my opinion, right? If you can say it well. Some people just aren't good at saying stuff. This woman is very good, and I like it. You should check it out. I don't know how to describe the music. It's the kind of stuff I like, but is not exactly a genre-specific kind of thing. You got to listen to it. All right, number 12, Izzy T, Izzy T. I'm in a war for my life. You can call me what you... Yeah, okay. I like her stuff. Also, very kind of, very rock. What can I say, man? It's just good old rock and roll music. It's heavy. It hits. It's got its soft parts. It's got its hard parts, what I've heard of her so far. And I like it. I like her look, too, man. That chick has some cool hair. You know what I mean? That's easy for me to say. She has very similar hair to my wife. My wife has very similar hair. I like hair. It's a thing for me. But I like Izzy T's hair. It's good hair. Good songwriting and good singing, too. I like her vocals. I like the way her voice sounds. That's important. You know what I mean? I find that even if the songwriting isn't that great, if I like the way you sound, I still want to listen to you. And I like her songwriting. So I like the songs. Number 13, Shannon and the Clams. I saw you, my God, you shine. Now, I know a lot of stuff on here has been pretty hard-edged. Shannon and the Clams is not. They remind me of really a throwback band, a very old rock and roll kind of sound. You know what I mean? Like 50s, 60s kind of stuff. And I dig that. I dig it, and I like the way these people go about doing it. I love the singer's voice. I guess that's Shannon, I would assume. I like her voice. I love her bass, man. That Dane Electro bass is hot. That's a hot bass. She has a really nice voice, and yeah, I like their look too. I like her clothing choices, her outfits. They're very I don't know, happy. Her clothing looks happy. That's all I can say. It's rather nice, pleasant music. Sometimes you want something that's just nice and pleasant. You don't just want to scream at the world all day. Speaking of screaming at the world, number 14, Sludge Mother. Okay, yeah, they remind me kind of Alice in Chains, right? It's a female singer again, but they just give me an Alice in Chains kind of vibe. And I dig it, and I dig their sound. I like that kind of sound anyway. It's kind of like that very grungy stuff, but with a more modern production and more modern sound to it. And I like that. I think that that works really well. And I like her voice. I know I've said that about a lot of these other performers, but if I didn't like them, I wouldn't be talking about them, would I? No, I wouldn't. Let's see. Number 15, Icy Orange. They said it all, make it mad, love and leave me alive. Another very alt-rocky kind of band, you know. Definitely another female singer. I like the sound. I like the rock and roll vibe going on. A little kind of like throwback kind of feeling. Like that late 80s, early 90s kind of alternative vibe, that kind of stuff. And back when alternative was still more or less punk, you know, had that feel to it. And I like that. I really do. And I'm glad to see more bands doing that nowadays. And that's a cool thing, right? 16. Let's go on to another kind of like punky kind of female-fronted band, all female band in this case, Higas De La Muerte. For any of you that don't speak of the Espanol, or at least understand it, I don't speak it so well. I understand more than I speak. But that's Sisters of Death, and I like that name. That is cool. Now, some of their songs are in Spanish, and some of their songs are in English. So if you don't want to listen to something in Spanish, and some people don't like listening to stuff in languages they don't understand, I can dig it. They got stuff in English too, and I like them. I like them a lot. The bass player and the guitarist both take turns singing on different songs. They got a really cool vibe to them, man. I like it. I like the kind of like almost goth punk look. And the music just hits, man. It's unfortunate they're not like touring the country at this point. They're still a pretty small-time band, I guess. When I looked it up, the only concerts they had scheduled were in Florida, where they're from. So, because I kind of wanted to go see them. I dig their music like a lot. I think they're if they keep with it, I'm hoping they get bigger, that they end up, going further in their careers. I'd like to see that, because I'd like to see them play all around the country so I can go see them. That'd be cool. All right, number 17, Under the Rug. Now, if you haven't heard of them, I've been listening to them for a little bit here. Very hippie, psychedelic. Their videos are strange. They're strange. The music is strange. It's all kind of strange. You know what I mean? If you're kind of a deadhead like I've been, and are used to the whole psychedelic, weird hippie stuff, then you'll recognize it. And it's got a kind of a lower key vibe than most of the bands on this list. So you can kind of put it on and chill to it, which I like. Sometimes I want to chill to music, like I said, you can't always be screaming at the world. And I like their sound. I like that whole psychedelic, ooh, kind of vibe. You know what I mean? It gets in your head. I dig it. If you couldn't tell, I'm into that kind of stuff too. Let's see, number 18, Eva Kiss. That's another female singer, kind of rock. Yeah, I don't exactly know what to say. She's got kind of a cool thing going on. I'd say just check it out. Just check her out. I dig what she does. And like with a lot of the singers on this list, I like the sound of her voice. I like the songs. It's good stuff. You know what I mean? Fits in nicely with a lot of the other stuff I have on this list. If you're into that kind of music, you'll like her, right? All right. 19, Little Barrie and Malcolm Cato. Now, this is kind of a different sort of thing. These are two different artists, and I kind of like both of them, but they did something together for Easy Eye Sound, and it's out on streaming where they're playing together, and I really, really like what they did together here. That bit that they did with Easy Eye, that is some really good music. It's like old school psychedelic blues, like straight up 60s stuff. I like the production. I like the sound of everything. I like the way they did the vocals. I like how it's really trippy, like I said, psychedelic blues stuff. And the guitar work sounds different than you're used to hearing. It's not straight up and down. It's really got this, I guess you'd say, sideways bend to it, where it's not, a lot of it's kind of unexpected what you hear. And I like that. I dig it. And it's really well put together. Easy Eye Sound is, a number of the artists on this list are with Easy Eye. I like the artists that they sign. I like the way they record them. I think their stuff comes out really well. So anyway, last one, number 20, Off Leash. This is another rather smaller band, just kind of getting their start out there, but I love the way they sound. They have this real kind of party punk poppy kind of feel to them, and they're really, really good. And I think their singer has a great voice. I love the way she sounds. I love the way the songs sound. I love the way the whole thing is put together, and just, you know, they'd fit in with like Blink 182, Sum 41, that kind of stuff, if you want to, you know, go back to that whole pop punk kind of thing. But it has a little bit more modern feel to it. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound exactly like the music back then did. It sounds like if that music were being made now, which is pretty much what they're doing. And I like it. I like that kind of sound. I like that kind of vibe. And I particularly like the energy of the music. They have like a little bit more than a lot of the other bands doing the same kind of thing. A lot of people play that kind of music and it just doesn't have the same kind of get up and go. You know what I mean? This stuff does. So there you go. There's 20 bands that you need to know about. You really should check them out because they're worth checking out. These are bands that are on my playlist right now that I've been listening to, that I'm really digging, that are newer or maybe not as well known, that I just wanted to tell people about. So there you go. And I know a couple of them are pretty well known, like The Warning and In This Moment, but they couldn't be that well known because I keep running into people that haven't heard of them. You know, even people that are into rock and roll like me, they're into that kind of music and they're like, who's that? You know? So there you go. Also, shameless self-promotion time. You should check out my music. There's a playlist at the end here. It says Talking Dogs. That's my new album, and you should check it out. Also, I got music videos on this channel. I got a playlist for that. Check it out, man. Check out my music. I also rock. I try to anyway. I attempt to rock. And some of my music videos, I'll put my music videos playlist on here because some of them are pretty hippie, psychedelic. They're weird. I do some weird videos, man. I do some weird stuff. In my last one there, I was playing with the AI effects, and I get to turn myself into a princess and a fairy and a dark angel and all that kind of cool stuff. So yeah, check it out. And streaming links down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video, all right? I love you guys. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.